Hello there, and welcome to a special little video that I'm slapping together. I was going through some of my cutting room floor video, and I found some of my extra attacks that I did to Dangerous Thing, and I was like, you know what? This is perfect. I can use this. Because they're pretty good attacks. I like to think, at least. Obviously, people who are super skilled with Smoky Zooka, they'll look and be like, oh no, that's horrible. But it's okay, because I'm learning, and one day. So, the first attack I'm doing is, obviously, Smoky Zooka, because since the update, things have changed very much. Everybody's saying, oh, the Zookas are grouping very much differently, and all these things. And you know what? It's true. 100%. I noticed, especially with my War Factory, when, like, the pressure was on, I started just throwing extra smokes, because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna extra smoke this. I'm gonna be safe just in case, because anytime that your Zookas are in a tight spot, like in between defenses and cores or walls or whatever, they start spreading out, and just one smoke is not enough. Good news is, when they're in a nice open spot like that, one smoke will cover all the Zookas. As you can see, as I do horrible things to poor DT's base. If, by the way, you don't know who Dangerous Thing is, she's a fellow YouTuber. She puts out great Boom Beach content. I'm going to throw a link to her channel down in my comments, because she's been helping me out, and she's absolutely a fantastic person, and her videos are awesome. So definitely, check out her channel. She's been around a little longer than me and has been kind of showing me the ropes, so absolutely great, thanks to her. Now, of course, the Smoky Zooka, it's a grappler. I knew that I was cruising in for a nice easy win with the grappler, so I decided to switch back to the tried, trusted, and true tank and medic, or T-Med if you would. And the dang grappler just started reefing. I thought I had more time, and it just started grabbing poor tanks and pulling them back. And once those tanks landed in that little death zone, like, they got shredded. It was brutal. You can see here, they're like getting yanked in. I'm trying to blow everything up in time, and it's just taking too long, and everything gets crazy. So I had to reflare, hoping like the tanks would drive out of that crazy little area of death. But finally, we get down that crazy grappler, and everything kind of goes back to normal. Now, this attack, and really all of these attacks, I am running very much a full boost. I'm rocking troop damage, troop health, and 3 GBE statues, everything boosted, which is why I have a fair amount of GBE, but also, my troops are putting out the damage, can take the damage, and still, with that grappler in there, admittedly slightly sloppy gameplay, my poor T-Meds just got rocked, like, rocked. So, of course, I do the only thing that I can actually do when your T-Meds get beaten up. There's only one thing you can do. Call on the T-Meds' big brother. That's right. El Scorcher. Senor El Scorcher? Anyways, the Scorchers are coming. The Scorchers are coming. The Scorchers are coming. To arms, to arms. Anyways, dropping the Scorchers down on the left-hand side, because I was like, alright, it's on like Donkey Kong. And I started going through, I know the layout, so I'm just hitting the boom cannons, the shock launchers, and I tried to even keep the stupid grappler shocked, and as you can see, it still grabbed one of my freaking Scorchers. And that poor Scorcher that got grabbed and ended up getting fried. I actually end up losing a fully boosted Scorcher, and like, don't get me wrong, I am fully boosted. This base has 0 ice. I double checked because I was like, how much ice is she rocking? I gotta know what's going on here. No, like, that's how gnarly, if you set up your base properly, it's how gnarly this Grappler can be and how effective it can be. It can even take out Scorchers, and don't get me wrong, I still roll through, but it's Scorchers, like max level Scorchers rocking between 70 and 80,000 hit points. I'm actually like just about to lose a second Scorcher. That's pretty rough. If I was doing a map clear, I would be like, find new opponent. And then I was like, okay, cool. So we know how Scorchers, you know, how the armored units do. Let's try out a little bit of Gren love. So, of course, I switch over to the all Grens. I tell you, since Gren Mania and I've been playing these things a little bit more, I really do have fun with the Grens. I kind of like them. I don't know, it's a weird thing that I got going on. A little bit of Gren love, I guess. But, as you can see, once again, that Grappler just starts pulling in the Grens, and once the Gren goes in there, it doesn't come back. It gets toasted. So I start very quickly trying to play catch up to, you know, take out the shock launchers and the rocket launchers and all of the things that can really hurt my poor Grens, the boom cannons, obvi. And while I'm like trying to do all these things, trying to keep it all together, as you can see, the Grappler just takes a huge toll on my poor Gren army and just rips it apart. Like, I feel like I've lost a lot more Grenadiers than I normally would have, because they kept getting pulled in. Like, I lost Grenadiers to freaking flamethrowers. Craziness. I love it. But, so, okay. Fine, we know that the Grenadiers are definitely going to get shredded, and like I said, I've had a lot of high hopes on the old Grens, and really I'm going to call them Granks, because I already have the tanks in place, and I feel like I can deal with them fairly well. You know, I'm not a complete noob with them. So I wanted to get my Grenadiers just slightly higher so that I could start doing some Grank attacks. So, of course, seeing how rough this I guess defense or this base is on the all Grens, I had to kind of change things up and load up Granks for the next attack, because as you can see, I'm gonna get the win. I'll get there, but it'll take a while, and it'll hurt while I do it. I end up getting Wise near the end, because basically all I've got is one critter box and like some heals, and I was like, alright, you know what I can do? Throw down the critters on the rocket launcher, get rid of it, and then the critters will hopefully distract the boom cannon, and I can flare my poor Grens up, because, well, the Grens are way out in the middle of nowhere, and I was almost getting worried I'd run out of time, and the second I pull them up, all the critters are gone, and the boom cannon starts busting up my poor Grens even more. Oh, I tell you, just horrible. Ruined. But that's okay, because now I feel like the Gren's big brother, the Grank, is coming out. And you know what? Even with the Granks, I didn't think about it beforehand, but what were the two worst things against this crazy Grappler? Oh right, the T-Med and the Grenadiers. Well, putting the T-Med and Grenadiers together, I'll tell you, it doesn't do much good against that Grappler. You can already see it's starting to grab my poor tanks, and so I start to obviously try to shock all of the things and kind of recuperate and let my Granks do what they do, but at this point I've already lost almost half of all of my tanks, and that hurts an attack, man. So, okay, that's fine. The good news is everything starts coming together after that initial rough spot. I guess the big thing is you gotta be on top of that Grappler before it starts doing damage. At this point, I'm just trying to blow things up and, like, clear a path, because my poor army is just leveled. Honestly, there's no other nice way of putting it. I got fried. And I do come back and I get the win, but man, it is tough. So I feel like the Riflemen and heavy Zooka, if you see a Grappler, just switch over to like RMZ or HMZ, and you're gonna have far more luck, and you're gonna be able to get through the Grappler without having to lose everything on the way. Or of course, if you're just boosting enough, you can pure brute force and blow it up. But if you can't pull that off, there are alternatives. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully this has been entertaining. And most importantly, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day.